Welcome back to Believe in Jets, a New York Jets podcast on the Believe Podcast Network. My name is Rami Lavi, and I got to say, I'm going to start this off right away, right off the top. I could use a little bit of a football detox, especially after the way the football season ended. So I want, I want football always. I miss football already, but in a way, I'm also kind of ready for football to take a little bit of a break because yesterday was a tough day as a Jet fan. I was rooting for Mahomes and the Chiefs, and I explained why, as a Jets fan, you should be rooting for Mahomes and the Chiefs. You want to take down the Brady dynasty. Instead, we got a blowout. We got a dud of a game. It's just Tom Brady was happier than ever. Just wasn't a great day as a Jet fan. And oh, by the way the day started was not great for Jets fans either. And I was right about this. I tweeted this out exactly a week ago. On Monday of last week, I said, feels like there was going to be big Aaron Rodgers news at some point during Super Bowl week. At some point this week, when all the eyes are on the Super Bowl, when everyone's talking about everything else, Aaron Rodgers is going to insert himself into the conversation. And the way this was reported, it came from the Rodgers side clearly. And so I do think, and he made sure to report it to Fox, by the way. He knew they were doing the Super Bowl. So it was on TV and talked about. And then Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter and all those people ran with it. But the way this was reported, it sounds like it came from the Rodgers camp. And so Rodgers found a way to insert himself. He waited for all the NBA trade deadline stuff to be over, right? He needed that to be over. So get all that out of the way, make myself the focus. It's, what was it, 4 hours before the Super Bowl started, it's reported? Checks out. Checks the Aaron Rodgers inserting himself into the conversation timeline. And so the news came down from Jay Glazer that Aaron Rodgers flew back to New Jersey to talk to the Jets, to meet with the Jets about his future, wanted to just say, hey guys, I want to work with you guys, whatever you guys want to do. Let's work it out together. And that's how you know this came from the Rodgers side, because he sounds like the saint, the world-class guy here. And the Jets said to him, go screw. The Jets essentially said, we're good. Thank you, Aaron, for your time. We're moving on from you. And it is the wrong decision. The Jets moving on from Aaron Rodgers. Wrong again, Jets. Just when I got a little bit excited about something they did last week, bringing in a veteran to oversee what they were doing, somebody who has some sort of experience, they go and screw it up again. Because that's what this organization does over and over and over again. This is a major mistake. Oh, but Rami, they're trying to build culture. Aaron Rodgers is bad for culture. Yeah, every single player wanted him here. All his teammates loved him. You could tell by the reaction on social media. Sauce Gardner was asked, he was at Radio Row, he was asked earlier in the week, this is before the Rodgers news came out, who's the GOAT? Without hesitation, Aaron Rodgers. Quinton Williams with the thumbs down. And by the way, the one thing that I will say, Quinton Williams tweets that out immediately. Twitter account deleted. So maybe there is finally some discipline in the building when it comes to that, because I've talked about these guys staying off social media for years, it feels like. And now, after a bad tweet, they get off. And Breece Hall, like every single one of these guys wanted him here. Oh, but you can't have it. What's the difference? You're not winning anything with him. What's your other option? Find a better option. And I went back and forth with Zach Rosenblatt, who does great work for The Athletic. Really good job. I love his work. He knows what's going on inside the building. But he said the leader in the clubhouse right now is Tyrod Taylor. That's not a plan. Tyrod Taylor is not a plan. And that's exactly my point. If you're just going to go to another veteran quarterback or try and find someone else, even if it's Jameis Winston, who I love, and his content at the Super Bowl was awesome. I mean, did you see when A.J. Brown scores a touchdown and he's like so excited? He's like, he's doing my dance. I told him to do that dance. And then it cuts back to the video. It's awesome. Jameis Winston was excellent with Fox. Great personality. I understand. And then he's with Bert Kreischer, whatever his name is. And Bert's like, dude, I love how much you love life. You love life so much. Anyway, not the point. Even if you're going to get a guy like that, what are you doing? What are you accomplishing by getting rid of Aaron Rodgers? There's nothing to it. You're not better this year. You're punting on the season. You know, you build a winning culture in the NFL by winning football games. The best chance you have at winning football games in 2025 is with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. And if you don't win, nothing's changed. It's the same as it was for the last 20 years A garbage organization that always loses. So what? All of a sudden, one more year is going to be terrible? And guess what? Now you're getting rid of him. You're guaranteed to lose games. You're definitely not winning any games without him. So if you're going to lose games either way, you might as well lose with him. At least you have some sense of stability, some sense of a chance. Oh, and Aaron Glenn said at his press conference, oh, it's going to be a football decision. This is not a football decision. This is a petty Woody decision. Oh, it's about the McAfee appearances. It's about having to have a new, fresh slate. That's all BS. This is Woody Johnson, again, taking control of the organization and telling these first-timers what to do. And so if this was a veteran coaching staff, a veteran general manager, if this was a veteran regime making this decision, I would tell you, okay, I don't like it, but I trust them. Same way with what happened with Sean Payton in Denver. If this was Mike McCarthy coming in here, if this was someone else, Alec Hallaby, who's proven over and over again with Howie Roseman, how you could turn a roster over and over again. Doesn't matter if we have Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz or Nick Foles or whoever it is, Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts. We're going to keep turning the roster over, and every year it's going to be competitive, and we're going to field a winner and win Super Bowls. If they were in here, someone from that organization, Alec Hallaby, who was the right-hand man to Howie Roseman, if he made this decision, sure, I tell you, you know what? Proven track record, winner, all that, understood. No, this is first timers. And you know what that tells me? That they're just listening to what Woody Johnson wants. This is going to be a football decision, Aaron Glenn said at the press conference. It's not, because the football decision would be to keep Aaron Rodgers. Because your best chance of winning is with Aaron Rodgers. Oh, Rami, they need to rebuild anyway. No, they don't. Their roster is too good to tank. You have a bunch of players on this roster that are really good right now. So what are you going to do? You're going to rebuild, you're going to tank this year, and then bring in a rookie quarterback, and then he's going to have to take a couple years to get going. And by the time he's ready to be professionally good in the league, Sauce will be gone. Garrett Wilson will be gone, or at least on the back end of expensive contracts. Breece Hall will be gone. This young core that Joe Douglas put together for you, you're now blowing it up by getting rid of Aaron Rodgers. Because you have a petty owner. That's what it is. That's what this whole thing is. You're not changing the culture. You're not resetting anything. You're not taking control of the organization. You're doing exactly what you've done for 30 freaking years as an owner, Woody Johnson. Being petty and meddling in decisions again and again and again. And making sure that this franchise stays loser and stays a loser franchise forever. This is how bad teams stay down. Organizations win championships. The Eagles prove that. Doesn't matter if we have Sirianni, Doug Peterson, A.J. Brown is going to be here and gone. It doesn't matter. It won't matter. He's yelling on the sideline. Doesn't matter. You can bring in Mekhi Becton, who was a loser here. You can bring in Saquon Barkley, who was a loser with the Giants. You could have Jalen Hurts, who no one thinks is a great quarterback. He had a great game. No one thinks he's this great quarterback. And you win a championship because organizations win. So if it's Nick Sirianni, he'll come and go. If it's Doug Peterson, he'll come and go. Carson Wentz, Nick Foles, doesn't matter. Organizations win, and the Eagles prove that. And the Jets are a losing organization, and as long as Woody Johnson is here, they're going to be a losing organization because he continues to make losing decisions. And getting rid of Aaron Rodgers right now is one of them. Tyrod Taylor is not a plan. It's crazy to me. What's he going to play? 5 games before he gets hurt? That's the track record. That's what he's proven, that he's capable of staying healthy for about 5 games. Maybe 7 if you're lucky. So the whole Aaron Rodgers doesn't stay healthy. He's not going to be healthy next year. Aaron Rodgers played 17 games this year. Banged up or not, he played 17 games. Tyrod Taylor's never done that once in his career. I don't think he's ever played more than 14. Loser organization wants to stay a loser forever. That's what they want. And all these freaking, the Jets media people, content creators on YouTube and stuff, like immediately sucking off the Jets. Immediately, because they want to hear their own voices in freaking One Jets Drive YouTube documentaries that the Jets put out. because they get off on it. It's ridiculous. Like, how quickly do we have to run and just agree with everything the Jets do as an organization? Oh, run and kiss the ring. What are you getting out of it? I don't know. I was in the owner's suite this season. Were you? I didn't see you guys there. I'm going to be honest. And Bilal sometimes doesn't like it. That's true. Because Bilal has relationships with these people. Woody, Christopher. They did a lot for him in his career. I understand where he's coming from, why he's hesitant to sometimes criticize them. That makes sense. I owe nothing to this organization. This organization has beaten me down my entire life. When I was a season ticket holder, they took my money and gave me nothing in return. They gave me the tickets and basically spit in my face with it. This is one of the worst run organizations, top to bottom, I've ever seen in any sport. I've been lucky enough to be around a bunch of organizations the last few years. I was in Baltimore. I saw the Orioles and Ravens. I see how the Yankees and Nets and Mets and even the Giants and sometimes the Knicks and Rangers are run. This is the worst organization in all of sports who wants to be losers forever. And I have an issue. I'm sick in the head and I love them. That's what goes on. And it drives me mad. It drives me insane. This is not a football decision. This is just the same old petty owner making a petty decision. Oh, I'm going to let the general manager and I'm going to let the general manager and the new coach decide. No, you didn't. We're going to make a football decision. Everything's a football decision. No, it's not. You lie to our faces. You piss on my leg and tell me it's rain. I got you, Keith McPherson. That's what this is. I'm tired of it. I'm done with it. Pisses me off. Can you tell? So I need a football detox because we had a shitty football game last night and my organization decided to move on from Aaron Rodgers, and I'm going to be rooting like hell for Aaron Rodgers. I hope he goes somewhere else and is successful. By the way, go to the NFC. You'll be the best quarterback today. You think you can't beat Jalen Hurts? I don't know about that offensive and defensive line. Aaron Rodgers would have gotten killed if he was playing for the Chiefs yesterday. By that defense, I mean, you thought Mahomes couldn't run, couldn't move. But that's the thing, like with Aaron Rodgers, and again, I don't want to make the super pro Aaron Rodgers, but he would have checked to something else. Like, Patrick Mahomes sucked yesterday. Like Aaron Rodgers probably would have tried a quick pass game, screen game, run game. So we'll talk about the Super Bowl in a second. I want to take a quick break before then. But I hope Rodgers is successful wherever he goes next year, just to stick it in the face of Woody Johnson and the Jets. You know he's going to have a chip on his shoulder the size of freaking the country. Maybe the Giants are the ones who pick him up. Maybe it's the Steelers. Wherever he goes, he's going to be successful. Giants probably not a great option. That division seems like it's going to be tough for the next couple of years. Philly, Washington. Dallas should be better next year. Not a great option. I'll come up with a good NFC option for Aaron Rodgers, and that's where you should go. Find a random NFC team. You'll be good there. It's mind-boggling. And it's so frustrating. Go to the Saints. Go to Vegas. I could see Rodgers going to Vegas. Although I don't know if he would play for Tom Brady. What a big win for Tom Brady. I mean, he must have been so happy. Smiling ear to ear in that booth. Kevin Burkhardt, a big Eagles fan. Tom Brady he owns a team that plays in the division with the Chiefs. And then also he has his legacy on the line against the Chiefs and their legacy and their dynasty and Patrick Mahomes. Man, what a big win. So for Jets fans, just frustrated. Like Tom Brady, even in retirement, keeps beating us. Keeps beating us down. By the way, now he has Pete Carroll. They go out and get an offensive coordinator and veteran guys. Tom Brady's got to be laughing at the Jets even in retirement. Watch. He'll continue to torment us. I'm mad. It was supposed to be different. And the freaking injury on 9/11, but everything that's happened. And I'm not saying Rodgers was going to win a Super Bowl with the Jets this year. I don't think so. But a 9-8 season, a winning season for the first time in 10 years would have been nice. I don't know. Is that too much to ask for, to have a winning season for the first time in a decade? Apparently it is. So it's the wrong decision. I almost just gave the WFA number 888-808-1019. Yeah, it's tough. I'm pissed off. It drives me insane, and I'm ready to be done with it. This organization is crazy. All right. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll talk about some Super Bowl stuff when we get back on the other side. I'll be right back. All right, coming back. The Super Bowl was played yesterday, so the Super Bowl is over, but there's still plenty of sports coming up. And as you know, the best place to bet on all of it is at BetOnline. BetOnline is your number one option for all your in-game wagering, up to the minute stats, news, highlights, everything you need to be a better gambler. The number one platform. We have NBA, we have college basketball, we have the NCAA tournament coming up a little bit later, March Madness, obviously next month. We have hockey. All these things going on. You could bet all of it at BetOnline. Baseball, only 45 days away from opening day. Baseball is back pretty much. The Yankees still don't have a third baseman. I think we'll talk about that on an episode later this week. I have a couple of things written down. Josh Allen won the MVP, which is insane. Eli's not a Hall of Famer. Good. We'll talk about that later in the week. But all these things, you can bet on them at BetOnline. BetOnline, the game starts here. The Super Bowl was last night. And one thing that I don't think a lot of people are talking about, and I did say this, by the way, just shout out me again. I was right again. I started the podcast telling you I was right. I was right also about the Eagles. I said, if you like the Eagles to win, bet them -7.5 because they're not going to win a close game, but I could see them dominating because of how good their offensive and defensive lines are. They dominated. So congrats to the Eagles. Congrats to Eagles fans. Just absolutely butt whooping. And if you listen to me and you bet the -7.5, you probably won a bunch of money. So good for you. The thing about Saquon Barkley is he didn't have a great game. The Chiefs sold out to stop Saquon Barkley. You know what? That opened up passes downfield. It opened up Jalen Hurts running the football. They were not really good at rushing Jalen Hurts. He had all day to throw. So even in the game when Saquon doesn't have an impactful game, he shows you how impactful he is. And think about it from this way, because if you take Saquon Barkley and you put him on the Chiefs yesterday, they might win that football game. Because immediately Patrick Mahomes, instead of just trying to force it over and over again, would have been dumping it off to Saquon, hand it off to Saquon, alleviate some of the pressure. Tell the pass rushers, you can't just come at us. Give them something else to think about. They would have to take a step back if there was another option on the field. So if Saquon's there on the Chiefs sideline, I think the Chiefs might have a real shot at winning this game. Because all of a sudden it changes everything that Mahomes could have done. Now, a left tackle would have been nice for him. A tight end would have been nice for him who doesn't look as slow and old as Travis Kelce all of a sudden looks. But at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes stunk in this game because he had an opportunity, a couple throws early that he could have settled into this game before it got out of hand. And he made some bad throws. And he never adjusted. He never went to a quick throw offense. Things never changed. They were looking for the big plays and they weren't there. And then he got happy feet and he was running around. I thought Brady pointed out great. He looked so jittery in the pocket even before he was getting sacked. It was just, I've never seen Patrick Mahomes play such a piss poor game in my life. And again, true credit to the Eagles and what they were able to do, because everyone knows when you are able to get pressure rushing with only 4 and you put 7 back in the secondary, I mean, it does wonders for your offense, for your defense. So great job by Philly. And everyone's making the Hurts and Russell Wilson comps now. I thought Hurts was better. He ran the ball really well. And it's hard to think back to what Russell Wilson was without trying to think about what he is now. But Russell Wilson was the first running quarterback, right? He had the read option with Marshawn Lynch. He threw the moon ball, the deep balls down the sideline that Jalen Hurts throws. But Hurts was awesome in this game. He was so accurate, did everything he needed to do. That one pick was a terrible mistake. Other than that, I mean, he pretty much played a perfect game. So, look, like I said earlier, organizations win. It's not about teams. It's organizations that win. And the Eagles are one of the best organizations in sports. So shout out to them. And of course, we're still stuck here dealing with the freaking New York Jets. But man, I was shocked. I was shocked to see Mahomes play that poorly. Despite everything going on around him, I thought he'd play a little bit better. He didn't. All right, that's going to do it for the show. A little bit shorter today because I still have to run to work and a whole bunch of other stuff. But just wanted to get on here, talk about the Rodgers stuff. I need a detox from all this. We'll talk about, as I assume, details will continue to come out throughout the week. We'll talk about it. Maybe we'll have some guests on. We'll talk about some of the MVP, the Hall of Fame, more breakdown of the Super Bowl and all that other stuff. And we'll preview the offseason. So lots coming up on BLEAV in Jets. So stay locked in. Follow the channel on YouTube. Check us out, obviously, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, Apple. all those good places. Until next time, like, subscribe, share the podcast. Appreciate you all for listening. See ya.